What's up, guys? I'm Cody Brockway, and you are back here for another brand new episode of Brockway's Vinyl Bites, baby. Woohoo! So today, I have taken my 10 favorite albums of the year 1986, and I have done something which is seemingly impossible to do, and it was very hard to do this, but I have ranked them. I don't typically do ranking videos, but I have ranked them this time to the best that I possibly can, and I love all of these records, so this is just how I'm feeling today. Of course, tomorrow it could be totally backwards, but I digress. This is my top 10 albums of 1986. There's lots of metal. There's a little bit of, rock and metal. Yeah, it's rock and metal based. There's not a whole lot of prog in this list. It's mostly on the heavy side, but yeah, you'll see what we're talking about as we go through. We're going to start off with number 10, and we're going to talk about everyone's favorite Judas Priest album, Turbo. That's right. I like this record. It's not my favorite Judas Priest album, but it's good enough to make my top 10 of 1986. Lots of good tunes on here. I love the title track, Turbo Lover. And I particularly love the song Out in the Cold. Very cool, very cool. And I got to see them live a couple weeks ago, and they played Turbo Lover, and it was just fantastic. But there's other nice tunes, Private Property, Parental Guidance. Yeah, it's a decent album. So number 10 for me, Turbo, Judas Priest. Number 9, we've got Slayer and Rain in Blood. This is absolutely a thrash metal epic classic album for sure. You got Angel of Death, Piece by Piece. Of course, the ever brooding title track, Rain in Blood, is just fantastic too. And this is actually the colored vinyl edition that came out Record Store Day a little while ago. Check it out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If Tom Araya was here, he'd be screaming right now, just like he does on like he does on Angel of Death. Get in there. Okay. Yes. So, number 9 is Slayer and Raining Blood. Number 8 actually contains a bassist of which I recently interviewed right here on Brockway's Vinyl Bites. That's right. Mr. Billy Sheehan, I interviewed him about a week ago. It was fantastic. People are loving it. So if you haven't seen that interview, go check it out. It's right here on my page. But yes, he plays bass on the wonderful David Lee Roth. Eat 'em and Smile, Dave's first big solo outing outside of Van Halen. Yeah, absolutely a fantastic record. You got Yankee Rose, Shy Boy, Going Crazy, Big Trouble. The whole album is just really awesome. And unfortunately, this band didn't stay together too long. They kind of followed their way through one more record after this, that Skyscraper, but it didn't really add up to this. And yeah, just a fantastic record. Lots of great personality, of course, from Dave. And the interplay between Billy Sheehan and Steve Vai on this is almost irreplaceable. It is so, so good. And Mr. Greg Bissonette on drums. What a fantastic lineup. Oh yeah, and you got a nice picture of the band with Dave front and center. But big photos of everyone. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Great record from 1986. David Lee Roth, Eat 'em and Smile. What are we up to now? Number 7. Okay, number 7 is from Dave's old band. The first record that they made without him came out the same year. 5150, Van Halen, the first album with Sammy Hagar on vocals. Now, maybe some people wouldn't put Dave and Sam on the same thing. Forget that, man. I'm a big fan of both, and when you make a record as good as Eat 'em and Smile and 5150, they are going to land in my top 10 albums in 1986. And both those records, the fans were so lucky at that time to have both these camps going out and making this amazing music. Unfortunately, some people got divided with it, but not here. That's not how it goes. Van Halen, like I said, the first one with Sam on vocals. I think this is a fantastic record. I love Good Enough. Obviously, of course, the big radio hit, Why Can't This Be Love? Just a fantastic record, though. Best of both worlds. Come on, man. Great, great, great rock and roll here. Love it. And next up, number 6, we got Motorhead with Orgasmatron. I am the one, Orgasmatron. Yeah, I really like this record. Deaf Forever. Of course, you got the title track, Orgasmatron. Built for Speed. Riding with the Driver. Yeah, 1986 was a really good year for heavy metal, as is being showcased here right now. Awesome album cover, too. Fantastic. Great lineup of the band as well. Yeah. Motorhead, Orgasmatron at number 6. At number 5, we're in the top 5. We finally made it. Megadeth, Peace Sells, but Who's Buying? Of course, this is the 25th anniversary box set. You get the vinyl, bunch of cool live stuff, the CDs and all that as well. I'm not going to open it all up, but just a fantastic record. My Last Words, Peace Sells, of course, Wake Up Dead, Good Morning Black Friday. Excuse me. Fantastic album. And Dave Ellison's bass playing on this, fantastic. Of course, you got Gar Samuelson on drums, Chris Poland on guitar, and the one and only Dave Mustaine, right? No, it's a really, really great lineup of the band. It is not my favorite lineup. Of course, Megadeth has had many. I'm prone to the 90s stuff, right? But the 80s stuff is just as good. Fantastic. Chris Poland, oh yeah. Great record. Peace Sells, but Who's Buying? At number 5. At number 4, what do we got next? We've got... Okay, so this is where we're kind of jumping out of the metal thing. You know, Genesis is my favorite band of all time, so there's going to be a couple of entries from Genesis and their members here. Genesis, Invisible Touch. Yeah, it's not my favorite Genesis record, but I do like it a lot, and I'm not a big fan of 80s pop music in general, but I think these guys do it really well on this outing. I like all the songs on this. I think the production's great. Obviously, Phil Collins was in a super hot period here, so kind of everything he was doing was really good. Great quality stuff, and yeah, the band sounds really good. Writing good songs. Of course, they still have at this point, they were writing songs that would become pop singles, but they were still keeping the 10-minute proggy epics and stuff on the album as well. So while you get the hits like Invisible Touch and Land of Confusion, you get songs like Domino and Tonight, 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 which would become a hit itself. And The Brazilian. Yeah, a very interesting record. I like it a lot. Yeah, my favorite band of all time. Genesis for the win. Great record in my opinion. Number 3. We're going back to metal here. We've got Iron Maiden, Somewhere in Time. Fantastic. I reckon that a lot of Genesis fans would like Iron Maiden, and I bet that they do. I'm going to go see them actually play most of this album in a couple of weeks from now. They're coming to Toronto on the Somewhere in Time tour, where they're going to be doing a couple of songs from the new album, Senjutsu, and most of this album. It's going to be awesome to see, because I love this record. You get tunes like Caught Somewhere in Time, Wasted Years, which was a hit for the band, The Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner, Stranger in a Strange Land, Alexander the Great, which you can tell they were listening to Genesis. In particular, it seems Watcher of the Skies on that track, but it's just a fantastic tune anyway. Heaven Can Wait. The whole record's awesome. Love it very much. That's my number 3. And number 2, we're going back to Genesis land. Well, I love all of these albums, but number 2 and number 1 could be tied. This is a top 5 Desert Island album for me. Peter Gabriel So at number 2. A fantastic record. This is arguably the greatest pop record of all time. Of course, this was produced by Daniel Lanois, who is a fellow Hamiltonian, just like me. And Peter Gabriel, of course. Actually, if you go into a restaurant in Hamilton called Chicago Style Pizza, there's a picture of Daniel Lanois and Peter Gabriel standing there as they had just had lunch there back in 87 or so. And so they have that picture framed up on the wall, signed by Daniel and everything. Really cool. Peter, whenever you want to come back, I'm down to come and meet you and say hello. But no, just as a supreme art pop album, progressive pop, whatever you want to call it. You'd call the Genesis album the same thing, progressive pop, I guess. Red Rain, Sledgehammer, In Your Eyes, Mercy Street, Don't Give Up, We Do What We're Told. Of course, on the original vinyl version, you actually miss the CD bonus tracks, so like This Is the Picture and tunes like that, which are really cool, but not on the original vinyl, unfortunately. But hey, it still doesn't suffer. It's a fantastic album. It's my number 2. And at number 1, again, I said number 2 and number 1 could be tied. I play them both so much. Metallica, Master of Puppets. One of the greatest thrash metal albums of all time. It comes in at number 1 on my list here today. Absolutely fantastic. Battery, Master of Puppets, The Thing That Should Not Be, Welcome Home Sanitarium, Disposable Heroes, Leper Messiah, Orion, Damage Incorporated. I love getting behind the drum kit and just banging this one out. And to all of you guys who talk crap about Lars, you are absolutely wrong. Some of the greatest drummers in history that have sort of come to fruition, you'll say, after him. Most of them will absolutely cite him as a massive influence, and his drumming on all the Metallica records is very, very good. And especially on this one, it's just fantastic, Master of Puppets. So that is my top 10 albums of 1986 right here today on Brockway's Vinyl Bites. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave some comments. Be respectful, of course. I really greatly appreciate all of you guys. And so we'll see you next time. Tara will be back. She had to sit this one out because she's taking care of other business at the moment. She's applying to stay in the country of Canada with me so we can live together. We're very happy. We love each other. And so she's kind of taking care of that business right now. But she'll be back next time, I'm sure. In the meantime, like I said before, like and subscribe. And don't forget to rock on!